What is CES like this year? What does it feel like on the ground? Because you're one of the few speakers who are there in person.
Yeah, well, we're very happy to be here. The show, there's not as many companies that you usually see in CES, but yeah, there are companies here. We're having great meetings, and we had our press conference yesterday. We're happy. We got an audience. It was good to have an audience and see people, and we're moving forward with a lot of announcements.
Well, let's talk about those announcements, Cristiano. The thing I love about CES is A, you get to nerd out, and B, the chip makers have sharp elbows this year. You guys are moving into product categories that some of your competitors are already dominating. So let's talk about compute. Why are you moving into compute?
It's natural. We believe in the full convergence of mobile and compute. If you just look at the power of the smartphone platform, and we've been saying this for a number of years, and we've been partnering with Microsoft, make all the investments, and we think the time is now, and we're starting to see traction. The key thing, Ed, is to think about what is the future of the laptop, and just right now, I'm sure you're looking at your laptop right now as a communication device. Over the past 2 years, we've been doing that a lot. It's a new use case of PC. New things became important. Camera became important. Connectivity became important. Work from anywhere. Entertain from anywhere. Gaming is becoming. Streaming is going to be like watching Netflix movie. So the transition of a laptop to a connected ARM experience is inevitable. You see what Apple did, and we think that's a great opportunity for us.
Right.
We actually have a press release that with the PC ecosystem, HP, Lenovo, Acer, Asus, Microsoft, we announced that over 200 of the global 5,000 enterprises are already testing and deploying Windows on ARM, and that transition is happening.
Okay, but PC chips on ARM core instructions, they've been around for a long time, right? What makes you so confident that you can take market share? And can you take market share this year?
We have good design traction right now. We work on this for a number of years. We knew what it takes not to build a second-class Windows. With Windows 11, 64-bit emulation is available from Microsoft. So the way I answer your question is, we've been waiting for this moment. Windows 11, you have the ability to have every capability on Windows and Windows on ARM. On top of that, because of the transition, because what Apple did with the M1, every new company, when it developed their application, Adobe is an example, it's available on ARM. And with Windows 11, every native Microsoft application is being developed on ARM. So it's happening.
Cristiano, to meet market demand, to gain that market share, you've got to have the supply as well. And I want to dig into supply chain issues a minute, because you're a company that's navigated it very well. You've always been multi-source strategy in terms of where you're getting the overall chip provision from, TSMC and Samsung and the like. But you've talked before with us in November that this chip shortage, the issues were easing. Do you feel that's still the case?
We continue to see demand outpacing supply. We see demand for technology across every industry. The semiconductor supply chain crisis that we've been living to is still here. However, as we said before, we see that 2022 is going to be a much better year in terms of supply. And we started to see, as we get to the second half, the ability to demand and supply to balance. The key thing since the last time we talked is demand continues to go up. But we're optimistic we're going to get to the end of this.
Demand goes up and it creates backlogs. I'm looking at your automotive area, $13 billion in terms of backlog at the moment. You're sitting in front of a picture of an auto. I know this is a key focus for you. Talk to us about how you erode that backlog. How long do your customers stick with you when you have these sorts of lengths of supply issues? How do you navigate and talk that through with your customer base?
Look, one thing we're very proud of it. In the automotive sector, we're not a holdup. Actually, in the automotive sector, we have not been short of parts. But what we've basically been doing is we're developing a digital platform for the future of the automobile. It's the digital chassis. We announced at CES a lot of traction of the automotive industry into the concept of this chassis. And we already have a $13 billion our backlog coming to fruition, as more and more cars get to the road with those new technologies. And in the show, we announced new partnerships, Volvo for Generation 3 digital cockpit. We announced Honda, and we also announced Renault as an addition to the digital chassis, including ADAS.
Cristiano, let's talk about some of those sharp elbows, right? And build on what Caroline asked you. If you take automotive or you take XR, these are product categories that your competitors have been in for a little while. Does Qualcomm have an opportunity as a latecomer to those markets? How do you compete?
Absolutely. In automotive, it's one of the biggest opportunities because it speaks to what Qualcomm can do very well. We're very good as a company to execute when technology disruptions and do it at scale with a complete horizontal platform. And I think that's the reason we create a digital chassis. The car company right now, they all want to become a tech company. Just look at the market cap of the car companies compared, for example, with Tesla. And they realize in order to do this, they have to have a digital platform that they can apply to every car, like they have a platform or the chassis or the unibody or the engine. That's what the Qualcomm digital chassis is. One platform that they have, connect the car to the cloud, have a digital cockpit, and have ADAS and autonomy, as well as a service platform. And that separates Qualcomm from everybody else. We're not providing individual components. We're providing an entire digital chassis for the car.